Yo, what's good, folks? What up? Welcome to another episode of Rich Friend, the elevated conversation brought to you by Tequila Avion. My name is Matthew Trammell. I'm joined by my man Mark Anthony Green here. What's
Peace.
good? What's good? Thank y'all for rocking with us for another week. Happy Friday. This week's cocktail is a Palm Forward. It's some Avion Silver with pomegranate sparkling soda and some orange garnish. So, cheers up.
So a tough break, tough week.
Really?
Tough week, bro.
Tough how?
See, Trammell is rich, so we don't know who the fuck he voted for. He named this podcast.
Man.
That's the issue.
No, Joe, come on, man. Green Party all the way. Stop playing. Come on, man.
Yeah.
No. This was pretty nuts. This is pretty exciting. It's pretty wild. How did you ring in the apocalypse?
So here's the thing:
Did you have a countdown?
Yeah, I went to my brother's house, my brother Warren, and it was just a handful of us, and it was crazy because we went and got some food, and it was early, and by the time we came back,
it was over.
The mood was so crazy.
Yeah.
And I left my phone at the crib, so. We didn't really know what was going on. They didn't have TVs in the restaurant. So by the time we came back, that's when they were.
That was a move. That was a confident move. That was oh, we're good. Let's go grab a bite and come back.
I wasn't confident. I just fucked up. I just accidentally left my.
Right.
I wish that I had that much confidence.
Yeah.
I will say the craziest part of the night to me was, and again, we're not trying to take anybody back to that terrible night, and we are all trying to progress and move forward, for real. But I remember us we're all sitting there.
We'd be remiss to not offer you guys the Rich Friend take.
Yeah,
but continue. Yeah.
So my mother calls me, and it looks like she's gonna lose, he's gonna win, and she's sobbing, and I just remember it being so quiet where I was, everyone can hear her on the phone. And that's what stuck out to me the most, was that we really don't know what the fuck is about to happen.
Yeah.
And as much just like we are, all of my friends were mad opinionated.
Right.
All of my friends, we think we know everything.
Yeah.
Whatever, we got all the hot takes, but that night, none of us.
The hottest.
None of us.
The hottest in history of takes.
Yeah, none of us had anything to say.
Yeah.
We were at a loss. We were at a loss for words.
Yeah.
Where were you at?
I was at 169 bar. I was no matter which way it goes down, I need to just celebrate this shit being over.
Yeah.
Voted that day and was pretty much just it felt like the biggest weight off my shoulders of just oh my god, that's done, that's finished.
Really? You felt relieved?
It was and it wasn't even I voted for Hillary, obviously. It wasn't oh yeah, she's about to win, you know what I mean? And I feel I'm probably not the only one, but there's so many of my friends hit me up. They were yo, you're the only one that took this dude serious,
right?
You were the first one to be nah, that over there is something.
It's a real thing.
And it's yeah, definitely. So I was never on some oh nah, this is a layup, but at the same time I was just this, all the talk is over, all the I did what you guys wanted me to do, all y'all wanted me to vote, I voted, so it's done. I got the sticker. Hell yeah, this shit is finished.
I hate that. I hate the sticker.
I mean,
thing.
It's whatever.
I really do hate the sticker thing.
You hate it.
I hate the sticker thing.
I mean, it's your badge. It's your oh, I did my part. I did my civic duty. I participated in our great republic. Right. Little did you know.
Little did you know.
No, but yeah. So
I'm surprised to hear you say that, because I felt one of the reasons I was yo, Trump could do this and we need to focus on this man is because my mother and my father are in St. Louis.
Right.
So I know that where they're at, there are a lot of Trump supporters. And my New York friends and my LA friends that are from New York and from LA, this shit was so, they couldn't comprehend what happened. My mother was not surprised. She was heartbroken.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I was heartbroken. We were yo, this is it. But I didn't feel relieved. I definitely felt
I mean, when I voted, I felt relieved.
Relief, yeah.
and then was like, all right, word, like I just need to fucking celebrate this shit being done. Like,
Right.
So yeah, like me and like 2 of my boys went out. We like played pool, like got healthily, you know, felt good.
Yeah, in a good place.
Yeah. And yeah, it was like, it was weird because we were watching the World Series in the same bar, like whatever it was, the week before, 2 weeks before, and it was like the same sort of feeling of like everyone's like on the screen. I don't know if they even had the election up at that time, but it was just like, oh yeah, like word, cool, yeah, this is all good. And then it just kept going. You're like, oh, all right, okay, all right. And then by the time we went back to my boy's crib, it was like pretty much like they were calling it, and I was just like, oh word, like wow, like that just happened. You know? I can't even say it wasn't surprise. It's never surprise. It was more just like, oh, okay, anybody can be president now, and that in the long run is like fucking awesome. Like this is crazy, but anyone can be president, and like internet trolls like actually run the world. All these things that I sort of was like, I know this is the state of shit, but like now here's the like rock solid proof. You know what I mean? Like that was very.
We could run for president.
That's what I'm saying.
I would be a vice president.
Anyone could run. You know, and it's like that's funny, and it's like there's funny.
Rich friend 2020.
Yeah, right. You know, there's like funny. Oh yeah, anyone could be president. Like, you know, Flavor Flav could be president. Like that's funny, but it's also like, oh great, like there's some person out there right now that will never, you know, like there's gonna be another president that never held office in government. You know what I mean? Like to me, that's
we'll see. Depends on how bad he does.
No.
If he goes in there and bricks it, I don't know if that's true.
To me, it's a statement on fame. It's like everything, all the popularity contests became one big one. The like political one, the celebrity one, the high school one, the fucking, you know what I mean? Like every little silo that you could be popular in, the biggest fish in the pond, is just all one pond now. So anyone that's famous can do it. You know what I mean? And so I'm just like, oh, okay, that is like, you know, presidents didn't used to have to be famous already. Right. But I feel like that's the turning point, if there is any turning point, you know? And the power of anonymous people on message boards.
Wow.
Which is
Y'all did it. Congrats.
Crazy, which is so nuts. I went way too deep into that shit, yo. I dug way too far into the rabbit hole on that.
Did you see the New York Times piece where it was basically like the most charismatic candidate always wins, and he just went through?
Yeah.
And you were kind of like, oh yeah, that's true.
I mean, you look at this dude and you're like, yo, he's fucking brilliant at the shit. He came out, he won, and he was like, sorry to keep you waiting, folks. Complicated business. I was like, yo, this dude is a beast. He's so good at this. He's
Matthew
so
Trammell
good at
is able.
This is beyond.
You're still you're able to compliment him when he deserves it.
That's not even saying that. I'm not.
When he deserves it, I'm not even there yet.
I'm not saying that. As a compliment.
I am not there.
No. I'm not saying that as a compliment. I'm not saying that as you're good.
Right.
I'm saying that as what you showed up to do. You fucking did, like, at an astronomical level. He's so incredibly good at being in front of a lot of people and talking to them and being that character and being that person that he was through the whole shit. Like, that opening line is fucking nuts to me. The best news thing that I saw come out of it was there was a flight, I don't know where, but some pilot was like, there were 2 people on a flight that was about to take off, and they were like arguing about, you know, one of them was wearing one of the hats or something like that. They got into like an argument, as like Americans are all over the country.
Right.
And he was like, they were like going at it or whatever, and the pilot like gets on the intercom and he's like, hey guys, like if you want to talk about politics, you can do it on the next flight, because we're about to be 30,000 feet in the air for like God knows how many hours, and it's not gonna happen on my plane, so you guys can either shut up or you can take the next flight, because we got to be in this metal tube together, between here and there. You know what I mean? It's just like, there's like, I don't know, like that just seems so, it's like no matter what, y'all still got to take planes. No matter who you're vote, you know what I mean? Like no matter who you just...
Yeah, but you know what though? As much as like I feel everybody trying to reconcile everybody, I get it. Mm-hmm. The thing that really gets under my skin is give him a chance.
Oh, I didn't
Like
say that.
I know you're not saying that. I know you're not saying that. But that's what everybody's been saying. Like we have to give him a chance. Give him a chance, and I think John Oliver. Yeah, it was John Oliver who was like, that's like being in a school bus and there's a badger driving the school bus, and they're being like, you know what? Give this badger a chance.
Right.
It's like, no, that's a fucking badger.
Right.
I don't need to give him. I know what's going to happen.
Yo, but you're going 80 miles. You gonna rip him out?
Yes, if we could rip Trump out of office, no, fuck it.
We're like into a fucking ditch, you know?
If we could do it without there being a civil war.
This is what I'm saying. It's like, he's there. He's sitting down. He's there. It's like, it's fucked up. But
I'll tell you this, people at home, and I know what you guys are most worried about. If Trump takes away this podcast, we're not gonna let it happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep coming to the people, Tequila Avion. They're just gonna keep the lights on. We're not gonna let it. We're not gonna let this fuck us up. Yeah, let's talk about something positive.
Definitely,
because it's been a shitty week. You know,
I hear that.
Bring something positive to the people.
What's been positive in your life, Mark Anthony Green?
I thought SNL was amazing.
Yeah, that was tight.
I thought Dave came back. Tribe's album superseded my expectations.
Nice.
I wanted to get your opinion on it, but my favorite thing about it is that it's nostalgic without sounding dated.
Right.
Like Q-Tip can really rap.
Hell yeah.
Tip can still fucking rap.
Yeah. Straight
up. And they didn't try to. There's no trap beats. There's not anything that would like disappoint me from Tribe. You know. But I thought we were going through all these amazing albums that came out this year, and I put it up there, and I'm like, man, this is 2016, a very shitty year politically, but when it comes to music, I mean, we got an amazing Tribe record in 2016. Like, come on, it was an embarrassment of riches.
Yeah.
It really has been an embarrassment of riches.
Yeah. No, I like that record a lot.
If you haven't listened to it, go stream it, steal it, however you listen to music, whatever you do.
The cool thing is that, you know, Tip is like one of my favorites. He always has been, and he's like, if y'all couldn't tell from the last episode, and like I knew from his solo stuff that he had done between Tribe albums that this was gonna be right, no matter how it sounded, whether it was gonna be different, new, weird, or whatever.
You believed in
a certain like bottom line of like competence and just goodness and creativity and like originality that he just does. You know what I mean? That's just like sort of in his nature as like a dude, or as a musician, not as a dude. And so I was just like, yeah, like if he's, you know, he's gonna fucking do this shit. He's gonna run the show. He's gonna put it together. He's gonna produce it, mix it, arrange it. It's gonna be his same like perfectionism and like obsessiveness and like obviously the circumstances and like, you know, just how serious the whole thing became with Fife's passing and everything. Like I was like, I know this is gonna be crazy. You know what I mean?
Once again, Matthew Trammell called
delivered. Not on everything.
I thought there were a few songs on that. What was the record with Vibrant thing on it? I liked that song, but there were a few songs on that record that I was like, this is terrible.
Amplified.
And there are no bad songs on this Tribe record.
No, that's a fact. Amplified was pretty bugged out.
Yeah.
Even
so that's what I honestly had expected if I'm keeping it 100.
Yeah, but did you listen to the Renaissance though?
Yeah, I thought the Renaissance was much better.
That's what I'm saying. Like that album was like fucking.
But if you did the other one, you could
completely outside of time.
Right.
In the same way, like when that album came out, it was like a lot of different other shit going on. I think like Chain Hang Low was out and like crazy shit was going on. You know what I mean? And he was just like, oh, I'm just gonna hole up and then put this out, and it's just gonna sound like the stuff that I do. But that's a good point on Amplified. People like to be like, oh, Q-Tip, da. But if you go back, you're just like, oh wait, no matter what, like right or wrong, you're always on some like left
some other shit. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because,
speaking of Chain Hang Low, and a similar breath of that, man, these Ray Shrimmer kids, holy shit, they got one. Yeah, I love, my favorite thing about our generation of music is that it's the same thing with Bobby Shmurda. Like that song was good, but that Vine made that song like larger than life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that, it was the Vine that made like the little kid in Wichita, Kansas, like love the song and play it at a party so that they could do the dance. Like that did it. this mannequin challenge, what is done for Black Beetle, where you have Paul McCartney literally do the mannequin challenge.
Hillary did it.
Hillary, I can't do.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not there yet. My cage is really rattled.
She did.
I know Tuck. I know she did it. All right, I'm asking you to respect me.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Respect me on this podcast, bro. We did the political thing. We've done it.
This is a safe space.
Is it?
Hi-yo. You get it? You get it? Safe space, like like that whole thing that people who voted for Hillary talk about safe space.
Jesus.
People who voted for Trump, they don't like safe space. It's a topical. Black Beatles, great song.
Trump is going to take away Ray Shremmer. He's going to take those kids away. In his first 100 days, he's going to be like, bring me those two young, buoyant black children.
What's all this happiness over there?
Yeah, what is that? Bring me
them. I don't
them.
really know what that's about. It doesn't seem too great.
What is eardrummers backwards? Bring me both those young.
It's too much laughter and smiling.
Wow.
Let's stop that.
But those, man, that is amazing to me.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that they lied about their age.
Like Little League players? Why?
That's what I heard. Like, it was like my favorite thing about them because it's just so, I don't know. Like, I'm just a fan.
Where did you hear that?
It was just like a rumor. I heard it from multiple people that when they first came out,
they said they were younger than
they said they're younger than they really are.
That's cool.
I kind of feel like we should have done that. Like, how good would our podcast be if people thought we were 14 and 15? They'd be like, yo, them motherfuckers ahead of their time. Now we're just old and washed up and cranky about the election. You know what I mean? We could have been something special.
We're not coming up with challenges.
Yeah, we're not coming up with challenges.
Friend challenge. I don't even want to go down that road.
Wow, the rich friend challenge. What would the rich friend challenge be?
We'll come back to that because it has to be a good one.
The rich friend challenge. This is what it is. The rich friend challenge is you taking a screenshot.
Oh boy.
Of your bank account.
Oh boy.
On your phone, but you're in like the fanciest shit. Because your rich friend got you in.
Cut his mic off.
Like you're courtside at the Knicks game, but you got like $17 in your Chase account.
Oh, that's kind of funny.
It's legendary. You trying to cut me off, but like,
what's the richest thing you can do in the brokest?
Yeah, exactly.
Possible? Exactly. That's kind of funny.
Like walking to the Hermes store, but you got on K-Swiss.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That is funny. That is good.
Yeah, have you been to... I got ideas too. I got dreams too, Tramel.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
I apologize. A lot of people in LA were at Camp Flogna over the weekend. That was another just palate cleanser.
I'm a firm believer that Tyler, the Creator, will go down as one of the most brilliant minds of our generation.
Yeah.
Tyler's going to make like full feature-length films that are transcendent.
I would agree with that. Yeah. He could be president.
And you saw him and Earl.
Yeah.
I think Earl's going to go down as one of the like real rappers of our generation.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to sit down and get good beats. I don't think I've ever heard Earl rap on a good beat. I don't give a fuck.
Oh man.
Earl goes out of his way to grab bad beats. He like thinks it's funny. And all I'm saying is one day he's going to let somebody give him some good production and the album is going to be so amazingly good.
Oh man, you got to
I know I struck a nerve there.
You gotta listen to more Earl, not to be that guy. But
I've listened to every project, every mix. It's not that I haven't listened to it.
Right.
I just don't like those.
He's got some hot beats. Hot ass beat clap. You never seen that video?
No.
See. Get your Earl game up, Mark Anthony. Not playing.
Matthew Tramel, one half of Rich Friend, 100% of the Earl fan club street team.
Fuck, God damn it.
President and CEO of the Earl sweatshirt street team.
No, come on, man. You gotta recognize talent. We're Earl Trump. You gotta recognize these people.
Wow. Jesus.
I'm sorry.
What did I say, Trump? What did I say, Tuck?
My bad.
What did I say,
guys? My bad.
It's fucked up to kick me while I'm down.
Man,
that's
recognize greatness. You know what I mean? Like, don't diminish it. Oh God.
Wow.
Yeah, they're about to pull the plug on us very soon. I feel like
it's over. Trump is going. He's going to kill us. He's going to get the Ray Shremmer kids. Yeah. It's over. Black Beetle. There are no Black Beatles. The Beatles are white.
Yeah, right. We know what color the Beatles were.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's not mince words here.
Yeah.
There was some purse store. I think it's called Purse or something like that. It's like a house, like homeware, like house goods store where you can use everything in the store. Like
that's
you could
sick.
take a shower, you could cook a full meal, and they like encourage you to. Like, you're not supposed to just go in and walk around. It's like go with like a plan to use shit. You know what I mean? I feel like, I don't know. It's like you buy like half the shit that you want online and like 30% of the other half like you look at but don't buy. You know what I mean? Right. So it's like, what's gonna make you walk into an actual retail space?
I'm lovey-dovey.
Nuts like that. You know what I mean?
I want to go on a date there. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's crazy. Like, you can go and like it's like a whole experience beyond just shopping in that way. If you could really just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make a meal and we can eat in here,
Right.
and like maybe buy this like kitchen table.
I spend more money on furniture than anything else.
That's cool.
So that sounds amazing. Yo, fuck you, Tramel.
That was so genuine.
No, it was not.
That was so.
No,
I
it was
swear
not.
to God, that was
and
so
you know what?
genuine.
It might have been genuine, but you've been talking shit about Trump all day, so my cage just rattled.
On edge.
Okay, so
Yo, that was so,
you
that
can
was
hold
genuine
that
props.
fuck you still.
That's cool.
You can hold that. Keep that.
That like,
Hold that. I'm not taking that back. Keep
you
that.
can't let this election tear us apart.
That's what they want.
We can't do that, man. Come on.
That's
like,
what they
what
want.
Do you mean?
Oh my God.
Buying furniture is awesome, man.
It is incredible.
Yeah,
it's
yo.
just I fuck with IKEA. I'm one of the few people that when they're like, yo, I gotta go to IKEA, I'm like, yeah, I'll run with you.
Yeah.
It doesn't overwhelm me.
Right.
And the food is really good. I really love IKEA food. They have the bomb chicken tenders. And back when I ate red meat, they had 2 hot dogs for $1.
Meatballs too, right?
I
I've
didn't
heard
fuck with the
about that.
meatballs. Yeah, because they
I
like
can't remember if I heard good things or bad
the
things.
meatballs are like the thing stereotypically people go and eat there.
Yeah.
But I think it's got like a sweet glaze. Something. There was a time I had it and I was like, yeah, no, that's not the wave.
Mm-hmm.
But like you could eat a really solid meal, in my opinion, for like $4 there, and that's amazing.
That's
and then you can get some
interesting.
Svedka juice, which is like sparkling cranberry juice. Is amazing.
Oh wow.
I totally made that word up.
I was
but
about to say,
it's a
sounds
weird
like-
word like that with like 2 V's in the beginning of the
Yeah.
word and shit. You know how they do.
That sounds like it
With
would
a
go
umlaut.
good with tequila avion.
I mean, we should do a podcast live from IKEA,
Wow.
and then
Assemble a bed frame live
Right.
on Rich Friend. Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I fuck with IKEA, man. If homies,
down
listen
for
to the podcast. If you need somebody to run with you to IKEA, I'm there. Period.
You know that store, Muji?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, I like that store a lot too for furniture stuff. They
Muji's
have
sick.
good like odd shit, like
Muji's
little
sick.
weird benches and like,
Yeah, great,
plant stuff and
great stationery.
yeah,
Like pens
right?
and
Yeah,
paper
yeah,
and
yeah,
shit.
Yeah, good pencils.
Yeah. Yeah, Muji's dope. I'm trying to think, what are some other like cheap places you can go and get some good furniture?
I don't know.
I will say my mother, she's like a fan of Target. And she's got good taste. My mom's got good taste. Shout out to my mom. Yeah, my mother still has not listened to the podcast. I haven't
Shout out
sent-
to your mom. For that.
Shout out to my mom.
She's the only one with some sense. She's like, I have no time.
Nah, you know what? She yells at me almost every day because I haven't sent her the link, and I'm like, I'm gonna send you a link. Like my mother, it's not gonna go find it. Like I gotta give her the thing.
Right.
Yeah,
how
I mean?
how computer savvy is Mrs. Green?
Man, bless her heart. My mother is a perfect being. She's beautiful. She's wonderful. She's my biggest fan, my biggest champion. She's wonderful. She can't work on computer to save her life.
Right.
Not to save her life, though.
Yeah.
If it was like, hey, send this email or your son is gone.
Yeah, it's over
She'd be
for you.
like, shit.
Yeah.
I loved him.
I love that, man.
Yeah, nah.
I love that.
That's not a thing.
I love like adults like that are just completely inept at technology. I feel like that is like there's a little chunk of like nirvana on earth that they live in. That
Why?
we, like just missed.
See, I
You
want
know
to be
what
the
I mean?
old head that like still is in the mix.
That like knows everything, has everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's
I
valid.
want
That's true.
that.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just how you participate. Like if my mother had a Snapchat, I would probably be real upset.
Mhm.
But like, you know, my mother can have an Instagram.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I'm
You know
just
what I mean?
saying, like, just if you're basically like in your day-to-day life, it's just still like 92 or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? As far
Right.
as like what breaks your kind of veil or whatever, that's still
Right.
just like crazy.
My-
There's like hundreds of thousands of millions of adults walking
Right.
around that have zero fucking sense of like the timeline. Like adults. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's
like
sick.
that are just like that walk among us.
Yeah, but I mean, that timeline is a blessing when you need it though. Timeline got me through all of the. Have you seen these Joe Biden Obama memes?
Some of them, yeah.
Oh my God, it's
yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
There was one where he was like, Obama and Biden are holding hands, and Biden's like, "Yo, don't." He's like, "Hold my hand," and Obama goes, "Why?" And he was like, "I'm just trying to freak Pence out. Go with it."
Yeah,
And it was like, "Yo, like, man, I'm gonna miss Joe Biden."
Apparently, there was I didn't see it, but there was some young photo of Joe going around.
Yeah, he looks like he was breaking hearts. And he's got
I believe that.
and he's got a drink in a brown paper bag.
Oh my God.
Legend.
Yeah. He's still,
Legend.
Yeah. He still carries himself like that kind of. I don't know. It's gonna be cool to see what these dudes do outside the White House.
They're gonna get more shit done.
That's what I'm saying, man. I don't imagine either of those guys as like lame duck, just sort of chilling, like playing golf type dudes. Like I feel like they're gonna be just as like
in the mix.
And, yeah, you know, it's like how could they not be? Why would they not be? You know, why would Barack not just be like, oh well, I'm still famous, so what's up, guys?
Right.
Like I'm still here. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Somebody told me that Melania Trump is not going to move to DC. She's like trying to stay in New York.
Wow.
Which I thought was like kind of fair. She's like, my house is nicer than this White House. Like I don't get my house. I live in a. She's like, I like this new
My
shiny
house
building
is
better.
Nicer. Oh man,
She's
do y'all have a doorman at the White House?
She's like, I don't actually. There's no Shark Tank.
We have washer, dryer.
Yeah,
we have, like you know, there's some amenities that I'm not really trying to.
Right.
You know what I mean? I get. Hey, you know.
Could you imagine if she doesn't move? Like, why would she have to?
If they commute to Washington.
He would move. I could see them doing some situation where it's like, yeah, she doesn't want to.
He takes Amtrak to the office.
That would be amazing.
Every morning. Flips through some files.
Yeah.
What do we got today?
Reading the funnies.
Yeah.
Doing a little Sudoku.
Doing the crossword.
Yeah, doing a little Sudoku.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I will guarantee you one thing, and I don't have anything negative to say about this woman, but I will say this. Melania Trump couldn't do a fucking Sudoku to save her life.
That's probably a fair...
I don't give a... I'm saying it. I'm about the first lady of America.
Yeah.
Her Sudoku game is whack as fuck. Meanwhile, Michelle, God level with the Sudoku.
Yeah, no, I would
easy.
believe that. Yeah.
She's not even writing in the corners when she thinks she knows it, but she got to flesh it out a little bit more. She's just... It's cocky. She's getting through with the numbers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's real.
We have not one, but two amazing guests on today's episode of Rich Friend. Two of the most talented DJs that reside here in New York City, greatest city on the planet.
Yeah.
The first of which is the downtown sweetheart herself, Miss Vashti Kola. What's up, Vashti? How you
What's
doing?
up? Hey, what's up?
How you feeling?
I feel excellent and strange at the same time.
Perfect.
Tell us about the strangeness.
I don't know. It might be a little too much, but I don't know. I feel like that we're at a strange point in time, an interesting point.
Well, Trammell voted for Trump, so it's an interesting.
I'm perfectly fine with how we are right now. Everything is great. It's a joke, guys.
Yeah,
it's a joke. Yeah, and our second guest, a good friend of mine, excellent DJ. Dope person, known this kid for years. He's just absolutely murdering everything. Young man by the name of Chase B.
What's up, guys? Rich friends.
Yeah, what's good, man?
Wealthy partners.
Yeah, exactly, man. How you feeling? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm about to piggyback off of what Ashley said. It's kind of like everything in life is like super chill, and then like Trump just kind of came in like eclipsed the whole.
Right.
Yeah.
We're gonna move to something positive.
Yes, let's.
We're just gonna
that.
pivot.
Dark times, Rich friends.
We're gonna
dark
pivot
times.
to something positive.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I have seen both of you DJ many times. I think that we are living in a golden era where everyone thinks they're a fucking DJ.
Precisely.
Like you got, you know who's a bad DJ? I'm gonna say this, and I fuck with him. He's a terrible DJ, and we're gonna keep it a buck on Rich Friend. Idris Elba, Stringer Bell, like DJs, and I saw him one night, Paris Fashion Week, and I remember I was like, yo, this dude is the worst DJ I've ever. But it's like, yo, you're one of the greatest actors. You're like what we have right now. You're the guy. You're the next Denzel.
Right.
But dog, you can't DJ your way out of paper bag. So from two experts, the question: what makes a great DJ, and what makes a bad DJ?
I think, especially in 2016 going into 2017, I really just think that being a good DJ is, right now I think it's about being a little bit selfless. You know, like you definitely have to cater to a crowd. Like you said, like everyone thinks that they are a DJ. So now when people go out, they're already in their heads like, oh, I would do this because I'm such a like an aux chord like phenomenon that I know what should be played right now. You know, so it's like now it's like you really have to be like, you know, quote unquote on your shit, because it's like everybody's kind of going out with these expectations like, oh, this DJ didn't do that, and you know, so you're already kind of being like prejudged as soon as your name goes on the flyer. So I think like being a good DJ is just knowledge of music, and just kind of thoroughly getting out of those songs and keeping whatever crowd entertained. And I think being a bad DJ is just honestly just like carelessness. It's like I don't know, I've never personally heard Idris Elba DJ, but since he's like the focal point of like being a bad DJ right now, I would assume that he hasn't like put a lot of time or practice into that craft. He's obviously put a lifetime of work into being an amazing actor,
right.
But I would imagine that he hasn't really put that time into like kill the decks and shit. So
right.
What was so? I'm just curious. What was so
bad
terrible?
about it?
I believe that it was
So
terrible.
we were at Poom Poom, which is this cool club in Paris.
Pom pom.
Wow.
Get cultured. bro.
Yeah. Wow.
Get cultured, bro.
Vashti.
So we were at Poom Poom.
Yeah. I still gonna
I
call
was
it
down.
Poom
I
Poom.
was like, when are we going to Poom? Like,
We still call it Poom Poom.
Good.
But honestly, I've only been there with West Indian people. So
I would imagine
French
that.
West Indian or West Indian?
French West Indian.
Okay. Well, okay.
So they called it Poom Poom. So I called it Poom Poom. I also don't speak French. Neither does Vashti. So, so we went and it was like
it's my friend's club. Come on.
just stunt. Yo, we need like we need a stunt button noise.
Yeah.
Like the stunt button. Nah, Vashti brought us treats. She's sweet.
Yeah, she's good. She's good for the
just
whole episode.
being
She can snap
mean.
on Mark Anthony Green
Yeah.
as much as she wants.
I need
Go
that.
ahead.
I do need that.
Yeah.
But no, it was just like you said, like I think he knew in his mind, he was like, oh, I'm gonna play a bunch of like house music, whatever. But it was like most of the people there were American. Everybody was there for Fashion Week. It was a bunch of young people. Like he would have been better off playing whatever Gucci. Like he would have been better off.
Shit that people just
Yeah.
automatically.
But I don't think he had that. And maybe that's not what he listens to or whatever. But no one wanted to hear the shit he was playing. No one reacted to it at all. You know, like have you ever had like a bad DJ set where like no one was fucking with you?
I've had sets that were definitely a challenge. And I think that, I mean, on that night, people could have said she's a bad DJ. Maybe it was just, maybe he had a bad night.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he wasn't,
Right.
fully there. And maybe he expected, because sometimes I'll have like a crate set up and I'm like, all right, this is what I'm going to play because I know that this crowd wants this. And I get there and I'm like, oh my God, they don't want this. And I need to
Right.
figure it out now. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You're nicer than me. But you're also a DJ. Like my thing is like it's a lot easier to criticize somebody when you don't do that thing, right?
Absolutely.
Like y'all could get him and be like, yo, the motherfuckers are terrible at podcasts. Fuck them.
Right.
Because y'all
Right.
don't have a podcast. That's
Right.
cool. That's
Right.
fine.
True.
Are there any? We were talking about Black Beatles earlier. I feel like
Oh shit.
that's right. I feel like that's just like a cheat code song right now. If you're a DJ, if you need to like use a bathroom real quick, you need to just like get some
Right.
time to reset. If you're trying to talk to somebody, like
Just
you
throw
just
that
throw
on.
that on. It's just like a gimme. You know what I mean? Like, are there any other songs right now, like from either one of you, where you're just like, oh word, yeah, like I know every night, every time, like that's gonna go, like that's like in my back pocket, you know?
I would say, as far as a new banger, I would say
You or old, or you know,
Vashti's like
two-step,
Radiohead.
like any, you know, yeah, right?
It's like Creep by Radiohead.
no, that would
Get the club.
easily clear the room. I would say, I mean, anything Drake. I think everything Drake just sort of goes.
Mm-hmm.
I recently played Too Much Sauce
Mhm.
by one Mr. Future, DJ Esco, and that, like, everyone went crazy for that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there are some classics too, like Blow the Whistle. Like, I feel like everyone plays now at this point. So
Yeah.
but that's like it's a classic.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, yo. To this day, I still play Meek's Dreams and Nightmares, like, cause I know
The
it has
intro?
like a 2-minute intro before it really gets serious, and I'll just run to the bathroom.
Yeah, right.
Because I know I have like that time where like
Everybody's waiting on the bill.
Yeah, you know what I'm
And
saying.
they want that.
You
So
can still
I'll-
come back and like bask in the glory,
Exactly.
like drop, you know, hell yeah.
I still do that for real.
Chase, I know that you're known for playing Jet, Are You Gonna Be My Girl in the club. I've heard you drop that before, and it was transcendent.
More than a couple times.
Yeah, definitely. Are there like same, you know, by like the sort of same token or whatever, there like little curveballs or stuff like that, like weird stuff that like you get away with, or you know what I mean?
Curveball. I'm like, I don't know, when I'm like feeling like some type of DJ nerd or some shit, I'm
Yeah.
like real heavy on like samples and shit, just to like,
Yeah.
oh, like gotcha, bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'll do that type of shit a lot. Just
Yeah.
you know, like in a club full of people who obviously don't know nor care about whatever I just did, but it's sometimes you just gotta get your rocks off. It's,
Right. Album of the year, can't say Birds in the Trap. Travis Scott's album is off the table.
It's off the table.
Oh, if you don't know, Chase is. What's your relation? When did you meet Travis? That's how we met.
When
I
was like 9 years old.
Yeah, y'all
9 or 10.
That's so sick.
Yeah. Our moms were like mad cool, and like we were in this little cute Jack and Jill thing together.
Hey. Travis Scott was in Jack and Jill. Holy shit!
You didn't know that, bro?
Holy shit!
Sorry if I like ruined his whole shit.
Yeah, you did.
No,
yeah, you did. Yo, I can't wait to see this motherfucker.
You didn't know that?
No, that's
we met in that shit.
amazing.
Yeah, back in
What is
in
Jack
City.
and Jill?
It's like some like black
society.
culture, elitist, like
Holy shit, my
for, like,
mind is blown.
yeah, it's like really big in the South because like we're all bougie and
Yeah.
shit. So in Texas, it's like a way for like your parents to kind of like make sure your kids like don't do the things that Travis raps about.
Right.
Wow.
In New York, we just knew about it because of the parties. It was just
The
you
parties.
had one friend
That's
that was
how
in Jack and
most
Jill, and the
people
plug that was just a plug for like all these parties that were.
What's
like,
the
super
criteria
popular.
to be in Jack and Jill?
Yeah, honestly,
You're supposed to come from an affluent black family.
Yeah.
But that's not always the case. Like
Not
you
always.
can
So
be.
I would have been denied access.
Yeah, we wouldn't have been invited.
I don't
actually,
know.
No, I definitely would.
Yeah.
I'm
If
pretty
you were
positive.
smart, like if you.
Well, I don't know the
had
rules.
things
Parents,
going on. For
No education.
No education.
Damn, Jack and Jill.
Yeah, I don't know, yeah.
Jeez.
That's amazing. Yo, what was Jack and Jill Travis like? What were the fits?
Same shit, man.
I mean, I feel like he's
Can't-
like. I feel like he's like a 9-year-old on a sugar rush now. So I can only imagine
what it was
you know,
like,
an
yeah.
actual
Yeah.
child without any sort of self-awareness. That's also like in my heart, I'm LaFlame already. It just hasn't like formed.
Right.
You know,
He's
what I
got
mean?
a drink
drinking of Avi on the brain.
Right.
right? Exactly. Like, but like what? Yeah, like what?
Nah, it's just my like. If you speak to other like quote unquote Jack and Jillers, like my experience was totally different because
This was in Houston.
It was in Houston, yeah. And my like particular chapter, we were just like kind of like the oddballs. Like we have,
Wait, does this
Some
still
hood rats.
exist? Jack and
Yeah.
Jill?
yeah, for sure,
Absolutely.
yeah, for sure.
Okay, so album of the year. Travis obviously dropped one of the greatest projects of the year, but everybody's biased, so we're taking Travis's album out.
Yeah.
Album of the year, Vashti, first on the hot seat.
Ooh, ouch. I would have to say, I don't know. I really like Ray Swimmer's album. It's a pretty excellent album, I would say.
Album of the year?
Album of the year. Okay, let me see. Let me retract.
Don't let me take-
Let
I
me
was
get
just-
deeper for you.
No, it's not. I will say this about Vashti, and she's very humble, so she's not going to toot her own horn. She has incredible taste in music,
Definitely.
but Vashti's taste in music is by far, she has one of the most diverse taste in music. Like Vash has put me on to like some weird indie rock. Like she's far more comfortable there. And I don't mean to speak for you, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, than she is with Ray Sherman. Like she loves all music, but I think that's what makes you a good DJ is you could, like,
sure.
you probably more diverse. Like if you were in a room with a bunch of punk rockers, I think you'd be in a better place, obviously, than I would be,
Right.
because that's more of a wave that you've participated
True.
in, you know.
I would probably say, can I take the physical challenge? Sorry, never mind.
The physical challenge?
It's like a washed reference to Double Dare.
Oh shit.
Oh, wow.
So I would probably.
That was amazing.
That was awesome.
That was really
Holy
amazing.
shit.
And I was,
Um,
I didn't expect
Wait,
that.
can
No, you're not passing,
All
Vashti.
right,
You
all
got
right.
this. Come on, you got
I don't know. I
this.
really liked
There's too many good ones this year.
Yeah.
Man.
James Blake. His album was good.
Fire.
I cried myself to sleep plenty of nights because of that album. What else would I say?
That's not depressing at all.
The album?
No, you
Oh,
saying
what
you
I'm
cry
saying,
yourself
right?
to
I know.
sleep.
Sorry, I'm like, it's fall. I get in touch with my like goth girl
Yeah,
side.
and it's super moons and shit. It's
I
really, it's
know.
emotional
It
time.
seriously is.
Straight up.
Absolutely.
Tremo, you get in touch with your goth girl side
Every day.
every day.
Always.
My
No
man.
lose touch.
Okay, so Chase, album of the year.
I don't think it's album of the year. I'm just gonna throw it out there first because I like listen to it every day and I'm like thinking about it right now in my head as we do this conversation. But Francis and the Lights album, Farewell Starlight.
Pretty
I listen
amazing.
to that shit all day.
Pretty
Yeah.
amazing.
That shit is tight.
I have to agree with you.
Word.
But other than that, I think like it was like really well critically acclaimed. I think Solange's album is kind of
Solo did a thing.
I think it's kind of like, hitting hard in the streets right now. So
I think Frank Ocean's best album of the year.
I was just gonna say I didn't remember to say that, but yeah.
You gonna steal my answer, Vashti?
Well, I'm not.
What's up?
I'm just
What's up, Vashti?
I'm dapping you for that one.
Straight up across the room.
Y'all forgot about Pablo already. That's crazy.
I actually didn't even listen to the album fully
so
through.
disloyal.
Jeez.
Crazy.
Why?
Kanye gives so
Okay,
much.
I have this thing. I don't know if you guys, like sometimes like I used to have this thing with magazines. Like you could not look at the magazine before I looked at it after I bought it. Like I had to be the first one to go through it. I just had like these weird rules with certain things. And an album for me, I don't want to experience it like partially. I want to hear it fully from beginning to end.
Yeah.
So I kept saying I'm gonna do that, and then I never got around to it. I'm just realizing now. So.
How did you partially hear it? Like the show or something?
The show, and then other people playing it for me.
Right.
Yeah, but it's like I feel like maybe we can all identify like music's emotional.
Yeah.
And I like to
Personal.
experience it by myself. Usually, just like to take it in like from
Definitely.
beginning to end.
Yeah, no, that's valid. It's also, it's those things where it's like when everything has that moment, it has that 72-hour window where like that's the thing. And if you're a certain type of person, like as far as conversation or as far as whatever, and if you're a certain type of person that'll like I haven't seen Moonlight yet
Right.
for that reason, kind of. You know what I mean?
Right,
But
you want to let it breathe, right?
Yeah,
So it's
where
like
you're
you
just
don't
gotta
want
set
just
yourself
watch
up
it.
and-
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
this is the temperature of the thing right now, but
Right.
I'll
The
have
echo
my own
chamber is
opinion when I
fucking-
kind of get to it,
Yeah.
So I feel that. But y'all still all wrong for forgetting Pablo, though.
I can't lie. Schoolboy's album is fire.
It's crazy.
Like I think that actually I'm gonna
Yeah, that's cool.
Put that as
Schoolboy's
album of the
Yeah.
year.
Yeah,
I listen-
okay.
that shit is tight.
Yeah.
Just like that's like production I wanted to hear and
Yeah,
so
that's the shit.
yeah.
You Tramel, this applies to you as well because you are the nightlife editor at the esteemed New Yorker. Man, you guys work very late nights. Vashti, I know you have a cat. Chase has like 4 kids he ain't watching. No, it's fucked up. But like, how do you balance out the fact that like it would be like back in the day? I think DJs they DJ'd. That's all they did. But our generation, we all have 50 different jobs. So like you might be like Vashti might be designing a T-shirt, or Chase you might you have a radio show on Apple.
Right.
Like how do you balance out the fact that you also and Tramel like you might be out till 6, 7 in the morning, and then you still got to be somewhere at noon, and you got to be back somewhere at whatever, and then you got cats and kids and I was like he really doesn't. Do you have kids?
No, I do not.
Oh, okay. I was like, maybe he actually does have
I don't
kids.
think so.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
There might be one like over in like Belgium or
Yeah.
some shit.
That would
Rodeo tour 2016.
Yeah, who knows?
Jack and Jill class of 2030.
Yeah. I don't think so.
But yeah, how do you balance all of that? And for the kids at home that listen to this that want to, be young creatives and do all this shit, like what are the tips and tricks of, a balanced life?
I would say, for me in particular, it's eating and drinking as healthily as possible because it helps me stay energized and keep me going.
Yeah, that's out for me.
Vashti's a vegan.
So yes, and so for me it works. My system, like I soar it with that kind of diet. But I also meditate, which I've been doing for like the last 2 years maybe, which is
Thanks again.
a journey. But everyone can meditate on their own. It's not as difficult.
But that's why when Vashti walked in, she was all radiant. And when we walked in, we just brought everything down.
Yeah, all
Like,
slovenly,
yeah,
just, like,
we're all.
chakras
I just kind of
all
slumped on the
aligned and
couch
all-
like, I didn't bring gifts, dude.
Yeah. Vashti
bad.
walked in with gifts and brightening the room.
Yeah, it's a learning moment for all of us.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Chase, what do you do? How do you balance it out, man?
Yo, honestly, there's like no method to my shit. I'm just like set 10 alarms and hopefully, because my thing, I don't do too much during the day because I know, like, especially being like a touring DJ on top of, doing my own little thing or whatever. It's like I'm kind of traveling for 2 people.
Right.
So, like if I have to go to like Boston on this day and the travel's like, oh, yo, we got a show in Edmonton tomorrow.
Right.
And then,
But then
up
you
and
got
downs
up
on
and down.
Saturday.
Right,
It's
right.
like, you know what I'm saying? So me,
Yeah.
I just try to,
You kind of have to be flexible.
yeah, I just kind of try to get as much rest as I possibly can get, so.
What's the craziest thing that happened on the last tour?
The last tour?
Yeah.
What was that, the Rihanna joint?
Or rodeo, either one.
The rodeo was just like a bundle of fun, man.
But
That
give
was
us
just
one
a good
story
time.
that was like, this is insane.
Damn, it's always so hard to answer these
The best story that I've heard from you was that was your teaching Metro how to DJ.
Oh yeah.
That is fucking.
It was
just
cool
The image
'cause-
of that is just tight to me. Not crazy, but just like that's dope. Like
Yeah, it was like, 'cause, you know, Metro hopped on the tour and he was doing his own set and then he was DJing for Thug at the same time. So like he had his controller and shit. And this was like his first time like really performing for like a crowd as a DJ, you know. So it was, and that's why we would always come out together like at Webster and all that type of shit. Because like if some shit went wrong at that point, Metro wouldn't be like, oh yeah, like the RCAs or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He didn't really know that. So yeah, that whole shit was dope. But I think Webster Hall at the rodeo tour was probably just like an experience in its own. I just think it was the craziest shit.
You did what was it, Kendall's birthday?
Oh yeah,
recently?
like a couple weeks ago.
That had to be live.
It was cool.
Crazy.
It was like kind of like a family thing, you know. She didn't want like a whole bunch of weirdos that she didn't know in there. So it was really just a family in there, just like drinking, partying and shit.
Are there any cool. like for both of y'all like ridiculous, you know, when you have a gig like that where you're just like, all right, I know like, you know, this is not just like playing out to a crowd of people that's just going out for the night, but this is like a birthday or like something crazy. Like, do you think about the stuff that you play different? Do you think about, you know what I mean? Like, are there like, how do you approach a sort of like targeted set, kind of in that way, you know? If that matters at all, if you just
I think it matters. Yeah, I try and for me in particular, I would say I like to know who I'm playing for.
Right.
Like maybe they are like a huge, I don't know, like Sade fan, so I'll try and work in Sade or something, or, and maybe play songs that pertain to birthdays, or I don't know.
Sade in the club, I highly recommend it.
Yeah,
I have heard it and it was amazing.
It's good for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so good. I mean, anytime. Sade is just great.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you don't like Sade, you probably just shouldn't go out.
Yeah.
Honestly,
yeah.
You know? Like, what are you even leaving your house for?
Yeah.
What are you even like living your life for?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You're not a fan.
Why
of,
do
like,
you exist,
joy
dude?
and like perfection.
It's a hot take.
I would agree.
It's a hot take.
Wholeheartedly agree. Definitely, man. How did you like? I feel like both of you guys like came to DJing in different ways. You know, like what, like how did you, Vashti, how did you get your start, or how did you sort of get into it? Or
my start was very late, and interestingly enough, I mean, back to an earlier point you had, Mark Anthony, but you know, some people might think I'm a bad DJ. I mean, not maybe off of skill, but just because like I'm new to it, or you know, like there are old school people that really do, which I understand. Like there is a craft, there is an art form, there's a history, and you know, some people just kind of walk in on it, and I don't know, maybe they don't pay their respects or their dues to the craft, but whatever. Anyway, I started off my career in film. Like I came here for film school and studied directing and cinematography, and at the same time was like interested in designing clothes, and then also like throwing parties just for my friends. Mm-hmm. And like about 10 years ago, actually, me and my friend Oscar started a party called 1992 because at the time we weren't really interested in going to like mainstream clubs where they played like top 40 hits, and we didn't like the idea of like bottle service and like dress code, whatever. We were so not into that, but we decided to start our own party, and we were just like throwing it for our friends. It got really popular, and then people actually throughout the entire duration of it were trying to like book me to DJ and book him also. We were like, you know, we don't DJ. Mm-hmm. A couple years later, I ended up doing a party with Q-Tip, and it was actually him who sort of urged me. He's like, you know really great music, like you know what the crowd wants. I don't know. He's like, you need to start. So I started probably like 5 years ago, and you know, I started. I don't know. I was probably really bad. But
you were having fun. You were like, this is cool. Like, fuck it. Yeah.
But, so that was sort of my intro into it. And I absolutely love it. Like, it's just so gratifying to see a reaction from what you're doing, like, in the immediate sense. Because coming from, like, the directing world and the designing world, it's like sometimes you might not ever see, like, how people are reacting or, you know, consuming what it is that you're making. And so it's cool to be able to like really have an impact, or to feel like you have an impact on someone's evening or their mood.
Right.
What about you, Chase?
It was probably around the same time. It was probably like 5 or 6 years ago. I was at Howard going to school and shit, doing that whole thing.
Wait, you were where?
At Howard, yeah.
Never heard of it.
Oh, really?
Never
it's
heard
pretty,
of it.
You know, pretty cool place. Check it out.
Yeah, never heard. I went to Morehouse, so never heard of it.
That's in Virginia.
Some kind of rivalry or something.
Yeah,
was
at play?
Is that where it's at?
No, you know where it's at.
Overseas.
You know exactly.
I feel like this is an episode of A Different World or something. I'm like, what is going on?
That's great.
I didn't know you went to that
Yeah, I
school,
didn't know. I
dude.
didn't know you. I
What?
didn't know you did that.
Wow.
But the Jack and Jill thing, I can't imagine. I still can't imagine Travis at like
Yeah,
singing
man.
the Jack and Jill hymn.
I know.
That
See,
shit's
that's the thing.
hilarious.
Is
yeah, that's
there
why
a
I was-
hymn?
There's a hymn.
What?
I didn't
I
know
want to
that.
know
I
about
don't.
this
I
secret
There's a hymn.
club.
Yeah, I don't know all that. Our shit was different. We were like fighting and shit. Like it was our experience was a little bit different. You know what I'm saying?
I joined it for a girl.
You did?
Yeah, Monique Newton. She's married now, but I thought she was super cute. She's in Jack
so
and
you
Jill.
chased her into Jack and Jill.
Chased her right into Jack and Jill.
Holy shit!
And then there were a lot of beautiful women. And
There
the other
are,
thing
there
too,
are,
like
yeah,
in Kansas
yeah.
City, there are no women of color, so that's why Jack and Jill exists.
that's why,
to
yeah.
bring them all together.
Exactly.
So it's like, oh, this cute girl is
Yeah.
my brother, and I'm like, yeah, we about to get in the mix.
That's chill.
Yeah, it was totally.
Sucks that she's married, but you know.
No, she wasn't the one. She wasn't the one.
Yeah.
She was not the one. But like, shout out to her
Shout out to
and her baby.
Yeah.
She's raising her kids, unlike you.
I know, man.
She's looking out.
It's tough out here, man. Trump is
Yeah,
president,
yo.
though. I'm just
Yeah,
trying to make
it's
sure.
tough, yeah.
Trying not to get shot out here, dog.
That's fair.
That's all I'm doing.
Yeah, just gotta look out for our own.
Yo.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So let me ask y'all a question. Moving forward, I feel like one of the few positives about something terrible like Trump happening is that creatives respond in cool ways,
True.
like Dave Chappelle and Tribe Called Quest on SNL.
Dropping M-bombs
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
It
was
felt
sick.
clean too.
Yeah, it just was like, oh man, at least we have the people we really care about, the artists, sticking up for us, right?
Right.
What would be something that you guys, or is there something that you already have in the works? And I know that is brand new, but to kind of respond to this very tragic thing that happened last week.
Or if that's even like, how do you, if that is even,
Yeah,
You know what
that's
I
a
mean?
better
As
question. Like
someone-
how do
Yeah.
you even?
It's kind of tough to like want to express yourself, but like not just like exploit the whole situation. You
Absolutely.
know, like you don't want to just take advantage of like this hardship that's happened.
That's
so
that
many-
Howard education. That's a real good point.
You know what I'm saying?
Good.
They taught me right over there.
Yeah, that's good.
But nah, you know, it's just it's a really sensitive thing, man, and you could really like chop your own neck off by like hopping out there and just doing some, you know,
Yep.
something that isn't even all the way necessary right now, you know. So it's like we said earlier, it's kind of a little too early to call, but yeah, personally, I don't have anything like in the works. Like I'm not about to just throw a fucking like we'll be all right party or anything like that.
Mhm.
But
Right.
you know, yeah. So I mean, we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel like even just the idea of, you know, when you think about what like a DJ is or what nightlife is or all that shit, it's all like escapism, right? It's all
Yeah.
like
Right.
you go
Exactly.
out to like feel like connected with a bunch of other people about how like happy you are in that moment, how much fun you're having. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
like with what you guys do, like just showing up and doing it is like half the service
Right, yeah.
already. You know what I mean? Because it's
to
like
feel good.
nobody else can, you know, be in that seat and facilitate that, you know, the way you got, you know what I'm saying? Like nobody else, like someone who doesn't do that can't do it, you know? So
Right.
I would like, you know, I always feel like DJs are like, you know, you go out, you have a great time, you like, you whatever, you know, you drink some tequila avion, you know, you have a ball, you go out, meet some people, go to sleep, whatever. You wake up the next day, oh man, that was fun, blah blah blah. Maybe you remember it, maybe you don't, blah blah blah. But it's like people that are in you guys' seat, like that's like a day of work. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like you have
Definitely.
to be sort of on that whole time, and like that's what you're thinking about. Like what could I do better? What can I blah blah blah? You know what I mean? So that whole perspective, I feel like, or that service is like super valued. You know?
I remember, I guess, like a couple months ago when there was just like a run of just a lot of police brutality going on,
Yeah.
and it was honestly tough to like go to a club and be like, all right, like who's ready to
Yeah.
drink? You know, it was like I felt a little bad, but it's like, you know, I still gotta get paid. You know,
Right, right,
But it's
right,
just
right.
you know, it's definitely not the place I particularly wanted to be.
But I do think there's something to what Tramel is saying of like, you know, it is it's a way of healing. It's like, you know, it's escapism. Like, yo, it's all fucked up, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and I'm listen to some music I love, and I'm gonna, you know, hopefully dance with some women that I'm attracted to, and like I'm gonna have a good time for a couple hours,
Right.
and come back to my situation,
Yeah.
and hopefully you feel better in that time, and hopefully things have gotten better while you were gone.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know,
During that period of like, there's like so many police brutality things popping up. I made a mixtape, which was really therapeutic for me. It was called "This Machine Kills Racism," which was taken from like a Woody Guthrie like thing that he did. He's like a folk singer from like I want to say the 40s or 50s, but the idea that music can like change you or change the the issues or improve or inspire. So, but I don't have anything in the works now, but I'm sure once I wrap my head around it, if I ever do, I might try and make something.
Have you guys ever made a mix for a man or a woman that you had a crush on?
Absolutely. Yeah. I feel like everyone.
That was a heavy sigh, bro.
Yeah. How did it didn't seem like it went over well. Yeah. How did that go over?
It didn't go over. Yeah,
it didn't go over well.
It's all over, man. It's all my fault. So it's like whatever.
Talk it out. Fuck it, Chase. We here now. Talk it out, big dog.
Was it the selection? Was it the pacing?
It wasn't.
Yeah, was it? Yeah, like
my transition, bro. She heard the transition.
like,
she was like, "Fuck this."
Yeah, I'm not fucking with this dude.
Yeah. What's going on? Like,
yeah, bro. And
yeah,
now she dates DJ Drama. No, I'm playing.
Shit. Drama. Wow, that's mad funny.
But nah, yeah, I definitely, it was like, it just felt like, I don't know, it's something that, it was sweet, something right to do at the time. And it was, and then, it kind of went downhill after that. So, yeah.
That's her loss.
I'll
say it.
Yeah. Tramel and I, he was telling us, it was like episode 4 or some shit, that he was dating this girl, and she gave him, was it Lil Jon's Crunk Juice?
Yes.
As a gift.
It was like,
and he was so disappointed.
Yeah, it was like worst gifts that you've gotten.
Yeah.
From a significant other, and Lil Jon's Crunk Juice for Christmas, which I still have in my iTunes now, the clean version at that.
Right.
Which
that album's kind of fire though.
Yeah. Nah.
That album's kind of fire, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Nah, man. At the time, that was not what. That was
not what you needed.
Yeah, like I was like, this is not what I expected when I. Like,
not from a girl.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like it was just so like. Not even to Jasmine, you're still the homie, but that was a bad gift.
Jasmine.
That was a bad gift. Yeah.
Vashti, if a guy if he could get any album, obviously this wouldn't work now, but if he got you an album to get to your heart, what would be the album?
Oh gosh, it would be The Smiths' Hatful of Hollow.
Wow.
That would.
Not Ray Shrimmer. What's the name?
Shrimp Life?
Shrimp Life? Just get you Shrimp Life on vinyl?
No.
I was thinking about you. Yeah.
Some melancholy vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Smiths, right? Mm-hmm. Good shit, though.
Yeah. But you didn't dole out an original one-of-one mix for someone. You haven't done that.
No, not like a mix. Like mixtape back in the day, yes.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Burnt CD, maybe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had a crush on my teacher, made her a mix, and got in a lot of trouble.
Oh, really?
I shot my shot at my teacher and got in a lot of trouble.
Was that like harassment? Does that fall under that category?
It didn't. It was just embarrassing. My parents were just very embarrassed.
Age ain't nothing but a number. What else?
It wasn't.
Afternoon Delight.
Mrs. Jones.
Robinson.
Yeah.
There's got to be
all of that.
There's a few.
Yeah.
Passing Me By.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I wish. Skilo.
Wow. I wish.
Nah, you don't get that for that. Nah.
I wish is incredible.
Yo.
Holy shit. Yeah, this is fun. This is a good exercise.
Is it easier or harder to date a DJ, or to date as a DJ?
Yeah, it's pretty fucking hard. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Just because all the travel and shit, it's just like a lot of inconsistency with that, and
Like, you're out late.
Yeah, and just the main thing that girls
Who
want.
are you
is,
texting right now?
Right.
I know, right? I'm late for something. No, I'm playing. No, it's just it's just the whole consistency thing is kind of that's what girls want is consistency,
Right.
So I've had my fair share of hardships due to my career,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the life we chose.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wow.
Amen, bro.
She's like, that's all.
damn,
That's all I have to say about that.
She's like, this nigga going through it over here.
Yeah. Yo, you're safe here, Chase. We're here for you, bro.
I got you, my G.
Oh yeah, man. So man, what's going on? Where are you guys at? Where can people check you out? What are y'all up to now?
SoundCloud and shit.
Mm-hmm. Nah, I mean in the field.
I'm like, nah.
SoundCloud and shit. Us too.
Right.
Shit. Yeah,
Chase was like, dog, I'm on the internet.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm
Nah,
in my 20s. I'm on the internet. What do you want from me?
I mean, shit. Right now, I'm just kind of doing the same old things, man. Just up and downs, the One Oaks.
Somebody could look at your
Vegas.
Instagram and find out where you're DJing if they want to.
Yeah. Flyers are all. It's all there, man.
Flyers.
All that type of shit. I don't even like my website is like under construction, so that's not
Nice.
even like there right now.
This Stretch Armstrong and Ev from up north.
Oh, Dot Wave too. We gotta put that out there.
They
Dot
just
Wave
did
stuff.
a book of like all New York City party flyers
Oh, that's
from
nasty.
the mid '80s on, from like Limelight era on, and it's
That's
like
incredible.
fucking nuts. It's really dope because
That
it's
sounds
like
crazy.
obviously like they were all printed out, and so that was like a whole just like culture in itself. It
Right.
was just like the people that printed them, the people that designed them, the people that handed them out, like people that collected them, like different, all the flyers from this club look like this, all the flyers for this DJ look
Right.
like this. You know what I mean? And it's like we do the same thing now, but it's wild to look at. I highly recommend it. It's
Yeah.
crazy to flip
Need
through.
that.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
What about you, Vash? Where can people check you out?
Vashti.com,
Vash, got her shit together. She like,
Instagram
Yeah.
// Vashti, on Twitter @Vashti.
yeah.
No, man, that wasn't even like a plug thing. I'm just like if you like where you guys
Oh, like out?
sort of, yeah,
Like
you know what I mean? Like
organically
yeah,
in the
like
field?
what's fun, like what are you guys doing, like where are you playing at?
Oh, so you didn't say that. You
That's
didn't
what I
say
that,
at
that
all,
was the
bro.
intent.
You need
That
to
was
clarify,
no
Yeah,
one.
clarify,
It's a
dude.
shame that when people say, "Oh yeah, where are you guys at these days?" You automatically just like, "Oh yeah, like this at."
No, it was
Like,
the way you
literal- like,
asked the
literal
question.
at,
Yeah, bro.
it
You were
was
like,
the-
where
it
can
was
they
the
check
way
you out?
Okay, all right, okay.
That sounds like
all right.
SoundCloud. Like,
Yeah,
what the fuck?
yeah. I would not insult y'all with
on
such
the
a basic
internet.
ass question.
Oh, so you talking about the
Nah,
streets?
yeah, man. No,
Okay,
man, yeah,
the
like where,
streets.
God no,
This
no
is great.
Instagram handle tags. Nah.
Let's do this again.
I don't have anything at the moment, actually, unfortunately.
No. He's asked like, where do you hang out? Like, where are your
where do I
favorite
hang
places in the
out?
city?
Okay, so further clarification.
Yeah.
Where do I hang out?
Yeah.
And it might sound extra, but I normally don't shout out those places because I like it to be like hole in the wall, like no one knows. And what?
That's just
Makes
so
sense.
Hollywood of you, Basti.
Makes
Hollywood
sense.
would be like,
Very
Mr.
logical.
Chow. I don't
Very
know.
logical.
Like I literally go to holes in the wall, and I don't like to talk about them because I like to keep them like that. We live in an age where everyone goes everywhere. It's like we all go to the same places. I don't want to go.
Mark
somewhere.
Anthony's face right now. I wish y'all could see.
This is not extra.
I didn't say it was extra. I said it was Hollywood.
Oh, why is that Hollywood?
Because
Is there a difference between extra and Hollywood? Is there a difference?
yeah, extra. Like you can.
Well, can you just clarify what Hollywood is?
I just think it's Hollywood because at the end of
Maybe
the day,
you think it's Hollywood.
I will say this: there's probably some like hole in the wall vegan spot that yes you go to and just yourself, but they would probably be so happy to have the Vashti Kola shout them out and get all these cool kids to come there and to give them money to keep their lights on.
You know,
And you're
They gotta cut
holding
the
your
check for that,
influence.
bruh.
They got to cut
Well,
the check
they
for that.
gotta- You know what I'm saying?
This is gonna
And then
sound
the lines around the
Hollywood.
block.
Yeah, go ahead.
When
Talk
that,
your
when
shit.
that happens, first of all, when a client comes to me and wants to do a shoot that's organic to my lifestyle, I mention these places and we
Speak
shoot
on it.
and we
Respect.
and we shoot and they get a check. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
wow.
Exactly.
But other than that,
Juice Press. I know you like Juice
I
Press.
go to
You
Juice
can give
Press
Juice
quite
Press love.
often.
Yeah.
I'm a huge supporter of them.
Yeah.
I go to places in my neighborhood in the East Village, and I keep it local. I like to support local too, which is very important. Everyone.
Vashti's like, yo, I go to out in New York City. It's great.
yeah.
I'm out in New York City. It's awesome. You can catch me at places in New York City.
places.
Yeah.
You can catch me indoors in the greater New York area, and I respect it.
Yeah.
I respect it. It's cool. I'm just not there yet. I respect. I can't.
Not where?
I can't wait to be so dope. To where I'm like, yo, I won't tell y'all motherfuckers where I go because I don't want you
I love
showing
that
up.
you think that I'm so dope. Thank you.
You're very dope, Vashti. You're very dope.
Yeah.
Chase, please tell us one place that you like to hang out.
I'm just like really, I don't know, like days off, I just go and I go to like rare.
Tramel, where do you hang out? I'm not doing this shit with these two.
Yeah, like
They're
no, I'm
too
just saying-
Hollywood and too cool. Tramel, tell
I
us
just
a
buy
place you
sneakers
like
a
to
lot.
go.
I like to buy sneakers
Whole
on off days.
Foods.
Oh, word.
You can kind of make your assumptions off of that.
You have on the very rare Don C's tan 2s right now, and I really respect that.
Word. Appreciate you, bro.
I was a little bummed out that they didn't make them in Italy. because I thought that they were going to do that. Like they made the original Jordan 2s in Italy,
Right.
but they did not. You know who has a custom Jordan 2 is Vashti Kola.
I do.
Vashti Kola was the first female to design her own pair of Jordans.
Big.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Feminism, sneakerhead, trailblazer. My life is dope and I do dope shit and I won't tell you where I hang out.
I don't hang out anywhere. Anyone follows my like Insta story, it's like me and my cat, me at Juice Press. Like,
Hell yeah, I respect that. Homebodies 2017.
I'll
I
shout
fuck with
something
that.
out. I will. I visit my friend D Malo, who DJs at Miss Lily's every
Nice.
weekend at 7
Miss Lily's is dope.
A. And I sit next to him, and I normally in real life, if people request a song while I'm DJing, I'm like, yeah, I'll play that, and I don't play it. But when people do that to my friends while they're DJing, I get pretty assertive, and I'm like, no.
Oh, that's cool.
That's top 3 worst things that goes down at work is like requests, especially the obvious ones. It's like
Play
yeah,
Black
like,
Beatles.
Yeah, can you play Black Beatles? Like, bro, it's 11:45.
Right. But it's worse when it has nothing to
have any
do with
Future?
like it's like can you
Yeah.
play this like adult
You're in like a
song?
salsa set, and it's like Black Beatles, bro.
You're like, I'm mid salsa set. Have you ever got a request and don't say the name? I know y'all wouldn't say the name, but like let's say it was from like a Jenner or somebody that's like dope and famous.
One that you have to
yeah,
take.
and
You
it's
gotta-
like you kind of have to take it, but it's a trash song. Like, have you ever been put in a corner like that?
Yeah, I honestly I won't play it for real.
You won't play it. You stick to your guns.
Yeah,
I respect.
if it's a bad song, for sure, I'm not. You know, because 9 times out of 10 they're like drunk and they don't
really
really
mean it.
even they don't even care. You know what the worst?
They
What
don't
turned
really
me off
mean
to
it.
requests was like somebody like when I first started and shit, and I was like super nice to everyone and whatever. Like I'd play a request, and then the person that asked for it would be like gone or like wouldn't
I
react at
noticed
all.
it.
Yeah, it's like, bro, what's the point of that? You know, you kind
I
of just
did this
ruin-
for you. Bro.
Yeah, so that's what really turned me off to the whole thing.
Yikes.
Yeah, that was probably me.
Jamal's like, yo, can you play this Tribe Called Quest?
Yeah, I know. Right? Yeah,
This shit is crazy. Third minute.
Yeah. I mean,
like,
that's got to be
yeah.
a whole other just school of bad requests, just completely obscure, like not practical shit at
Yeah.
all, you know? And that someone's like looking at you like, oh, you don't know how to DJ. You
And
don't
then you
have
try and
fucking-"
explain like the BPM doesn't.
Yeah,
and
like,
it's like, but no, can you just drop it like right now? It's my birthday. I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's my birthday.
The next time I see either one of you DJ, I'm gonna come with mad requests.
do it, because you know what? Now I just yes people. I'm like, yep,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I got
Sure.
you. Yeah.
Mix that right in.
after the
Right.
like in a couple. Okay,
Like, where's my Luther Vandross Vashti? What the fuck? I've been waiting. Yeah. When you guys travel, because you have to travel a lot, like there's certain things that I'm very particular about when I travel, and that sometimes I feel like I'm being a little too particular. But like when you travel a lot, you gotta take care of yourself.
Right.
What are some of those things for y'all?
for me, I have to pack snacks because there's not.
It's gotta be tough for a vegan. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm a healthy vegan. Like I'm not like, oh, I'll take those roasted salted nuts that are like 3 years old. Like I need to have like fresh.
Legumes.
So
So there is
Legume
vegan.
game is crazy.
There is like vegan junk food. There's
there
like
is a lot
bad-
of bad. Yeah, there's a lot of vegan. I lived off of it for a very long time,
Yeah.
and then I realized that your teeth don't last forever,
Mm-hmm.
and
Your teeth don't last forever.
no, they can rot. They can.
Damn.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
So yeah, I pack a lot of snacks. I have to pack a lot of supplements and vitamins to keep me going. And I'm
Chase
very,
packs supplements too to keep him going.
um,
I don't know why I didn't pass that up, Chase. I don't know why I didn't pass that up.
You're on
man.
fire today, bro.
I don't know, man.
You're on fire, bro.
Yeah.
and I have to be very neat and organized. So I literally like unpack and repack and I'm like, constantly like,
That's dope. What about you, Chase?
That's why I am like really organized. That's one thing, because I hate losing shit.
Yes.
So that's one thing about packing. I'm like super organized. I like unpack, repack, you know, like go through my backpack like over and over again. That's one thing I'm really adamant about. But other than that, like when I travel, I would love to make it sound way more interesting than me playing like FIFA all day and then going to work at night. But
Right.
that's kind of like my thing. Kind of like zone out, look for some new music, and then hit the FIFA streets really hard and just crush it all day.
Chase,
feel that.
your honesty is refreshing. For both of y'all. Y'all didn't try to get up here and be like,
Oh, no.
I gotta have this special elixir. Like, no, it's like, no, I just pack my shit. I'll get on any airline,
Right.
play video games, go to work. How do y'all deal? And I've seen both of y'all be imitated before.
That's
Especially you, Vashti.
Great.
Because there's a lot
there's
of, there's
Vashti's out here.
the Vashti filter. Like,
That's
there are girls you walk
word
around
up.
and you're like,
Great
oh, you
question.
stole her whole kit.
Yeah.
How do you deal
You stole her
with
whole
being
kit.
imitated?
Yeah,
That's
how do you
good.
deal with it,
Both you
Vashti?
guys.
I think before it was frustrating because some people, not, like whatever, some people will kind of like take something that you've been creating for a long time and maybe like be like, oh, this is my look for like this season, and then move forward, and it's like, damn, like bastardize my whole look. Now I'm like, I look like a clown kind of. And I think I used to take it like pretty terribly before, and now I sort of, I don't know.
Do you still take it? I mean, does it still bother you?
It does. I think it bothers me more that people take my look or other people's looks, that people who have like invested like real time and energy into like their style, and it's like, basically Instagram's like a menu. It's like, oh, I want to do that for like this
Right.
week,
Right.
and then I'm gonna do this, and so that irritates me because it's like there's no commitment, there's no effort, there's no interest, and it's like truly we all know how you used to dress like last summer, like we know,
Right.
all right?
We seen you.
Yes,
Right,
we've seen
right.
you. Feather earrings and whatever.
Oh, shit, shoot him.
That's hard. That's hard.
That's the real Vashti.
That's hard.
Do the research. I think no.
Yeah.
That's tight.
Learn your history.
Yeah.
I
This
fuck
is
with
my
that.
non-Buddhist Deepak Chopra side coming out.
Let it out. This is the space for it,
Right.
rich friend.
Right.
That's amazing.
So yeah, I don't know. I just don't like the idea that people aren't committed or passionate. They're just like doing it for
Follow you.
yeah.
I
like,
think-
if with anything, like whether it's like, I don't know, music or art or whatever, it's just like, all right, like just at least put some like effort into it. I don't know.
Right. But even if they put effort in it, it still would bother you.
No,
It's whack when
I actually
somebody
would,
takes
I
something
would
from you.
actually respect it.
Yeah.
True.
What about Chase C? Have you seen Chase C out here?
Yeah, it's been kind of like popping up. I've seen a little bit, but with me, it's kind of different now. Like, I agree with Vashti. Like, before, I'd get like super pissed, but now, like, seeing the kids that really want to like be technical DJs, that's really refreshing to me. Just because I was influenced by so many, like just DJ like nerds, like AMs, and like the really technical dudes. So I wanted to do that.
R.I.P. to the God.
Yeah. So even like Clark Kent, like all these dudes. So for somebody to want to take that
You
route,
just named the two sneakerheads.
I mean, but still, just
Two
on top of that,
beastly
it's like,
DJs,
yeah,
bro.
they're two
Fair.
Definitely.
amazing DJs. So even like Jazzy, Jazzy definitely not to like,
Yeah.
that one guy Jazzy Jeff, not to
Right,
say it
right,
like that,
right.
but it's just like for kids to want to like be technically, on turntables, and that's really refreshing to me, because I know the alternative now is like you go buy a controller and you
Yes.
start playing Future, and the house party's lit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But it's still refreshing to see like some like kids in high school be like, yo, like, what kind of needles should I buy?
Right.
Like, I want to be like you, and yada yada. So,
Can I ask one nerd question? This is like, if it doesn't apply, just tune it out. But like, I feel like I've thought about this a lot, like with the DJs that you talked about, like AMs and Clark Kents and like Kid Capri's and like those guys, like the way the sort of the tone of music that was being made at that time, just on a beat level, was kind of like, it made sense to play in that way. It made
Exactly.
sense to scratch and cut and
For
mix
sure.
and do that kind of shit, right?
Mhm.
Like, the majority of hip hop that gets made now, again, not statement of quality, just the style of it. It's like harder to cut and mix, like Ray Shremmerd song than it is, you know
Right.
what I mean? Like, not even on some old, like a song from like 2004, that might have still been made in that way where it's like drums and a certain kind of bounce. Does that come into play like at all? Like, is it, like, do you have to kind of like approach how you mix like with different styles of beats differently in that way.
Oh,
you
for
know?
sure. Like, yeah, like if you're in a club like scratching up house music, like you should.
Yeah, that makes no
like,
sense.
back
Right?
it up,
Yeah,
bro.
right, exactly.
Like you are a try hard, bro. and
Right.
No one wants to. Honestly, scratching in general, like, is
Yes, say it.
a
Say
turn
it.
off in the club, you know. And I know I'm guilty of that. Like, I try to tone it down myself. Like, bro, like, no one's here for that, you know.
But don't you?
It's just kind of how I practice for so long.
Kind of what you were talking about earlier, Ashley. Like, do you feel like you have to do that to show like the OGs, like the
Show
old
people
heads
you
that
know
I,
what you're
that
doing.
I know how to
versus the next
DJ.
guy, yeah.
In my opinion, I feel like it's good to it's important to know because it's part of the heritage and it's part of the craft. Like it's really important to know. But I think that what makes you, in my opinion, again, I don't know, it's different for everyone. What makes you a good DJ is someone who is like self-aware but also aware of the crowd. And your job is to make the crowd happy. Obviously you don't want to like sell your soul and do things that you don't necessarily want to do, but if the crowd's not responding to scratching, you don't want to empty the room.
Yeah,
you don't
no,
want to like
definitely.
make it terrible experience for everyone just because you want to like show off,
Right.
and it's true. It's like nowadays I'm like if I'm in a club and people, you can tell when people are over scratching. It's like, all right, just cut to the chase.
Yeah,
right.
So,
Just play Black Beetle again.
drop it. Don't even blend.
Just drop it, bro.
Or like my
3
favorite,
times in a row.
Know me.
My favorite, which is like kind of more subtle, but it's still kind of noticeable. I feel like is like a DJ that might be young or might be like excited, and they only play like the first minute of every song and
Yes.
burn through like 20 songs. You get like the hook in the first verse,
Right.
and they're so excited to like you know what I mean.
And then you have to
Transition or
DJ
whatever.
after that person.
Yeah,
And they played
everything. Yeah, right. Like the like pacing shit has got to be like you're super mindful of that too. Like while you're on or whatever,
Yeah, it's really the craft really right now is it's just about like the flow of the room, like we were all talking about, and the technical side is definitely dying down, which necessarily isn't a bad thing because I feel like with the internet and all that, not to sound like some super old dude or whatever, but it's like there's kind of no excuse for you not to know all these different genres of music,
Right.
since it's so easily accessible. So like I'd much rather have a kid go and like put down that rock tee and like actually listen to the band and like know about all these different types of music and be able to play that as a DJ than for you to be like, yeah, I'm about to scratch up like
Right.
whatever, a whole bunch of like 100 BPM records in the club and call yourself like the best DJ ever. Like the knowledge is way more power than the technical side.
Right.
So
Do you got, and then we got to skate in a second, but I feel like both of you guys, when you say you're going to go be a DJ, your family's probably reacting, especially like you went to Howard, they probably wanted you to be a doctor or some shit like that, right? So you're like, oh, I'm going to go be a DJ. And I know, Vashti, you do a million other things, but like, did your families, like when they saw you, you were like Jimmy Kimmel? What were you on with Travis? What was the show?
Yeah,
like, was it then that it sunk in with them that like, oh, you're
is
successful?
legit,
Like,
yeah.
how do you like let them know that you guys are doing very well, and both of you are doing extremely well?
Thank you. I'll just say this: my parents have no idea what I do. Like, still to this day.
That's so tight.
Both of my parents are from Trinidad, and just to give you a background, they didn't really go to school. They went to maybe junior high of like their.
Vashti, can you put your phone on vibrate?
I'm
Thank you.
sorry. I did. I thought
An hour into the podcast.
Vashti.
I did.
Didn't we tell you to
Vashti, is this your first podcast?
So close. No, it's fine.
So it's done. Okay. So they probably, their education level was probably like junior high, maybe middle school, junior high. Not saying that they're intelligent people, but they're very much like working class. My dad's a car mechanic. My mom works at a nursing home, and like I was like, I'm gonna go to school for art, and they were like, good luck with that. Like my parents, I was severely independent since the age of like 12, 13. So they're just like, all right, like
they were
2
down,
weeks
though.
before
They were
I.
supportive.
Nah,
Or
they were just
nah.
like, cool, do your I don't know. Like 2 weeks
Right.
before I left for school, I was like, I'm leaving for college. I'm going to art school. I'm putting my... They're like, all right, good luck. I don't know what to tell you. So,
But do they get now that like Vashti's successful?
No, I showed my mom like something I just did, and she's like, what about Dancing with the Stars? I'm like,
That would be kind of
Mom?
sick.
That would be kind of lit.
That's like,
Vashti on
okay.
Dancing with the Stars.
you might need to have rhythm to be on that.
Oh, come on. No, that's
Worked
crazy
out.
though. Yeah.
So they don't really understand what I do, but they do their best.
Chase,
Yeah, it's kind of.
what's your government name?
Chase Benjamin. That's what it
Does
is.
Mr. and Mrs. Benjamin understand?
Now they do. At first, it was really like it was super hard, man. It was like damn near impossible to convince them of what I was doing. Especially my grandmother. May she rest in peace. But so a couple years ago, when I first started, she actually helped me like purchase my first little pair of CDJs. And shit.
Wow!
So
Shout
she
out
used
to her.
Yeah, so she used to look me in the eye and be like, "You want to be a disc jockey? Like, is that what
disc
you?
jockey.
Yeah, like
That's
like, does that work?
amazing.
Like, do they get paid? And stuff like that." And I'm just like, "Yeah, like it'll work out." And my mom was just kind of like thinking it was like a phase, like a hobby kind of thing. And so like I told her my whole plan, like, "Oh no, I'm gonna be on the radio, and in a couple years, and yada yada." And they just kind of weren't having it. And so when it came, because I didn't graduate from Howard, so. When it came to the time where I kinda
many
had to,
amazing Howard dropouts. Like y'all's dropouts far supersede y'all's. Like
I mean, you learn a lot about just like kind of life and career while you go
Yeah.
there, and it's not cheap. So
right.
that
Wait,
that-
I have a little nice tidbit that my mom asked me the other day. Literally the other day, she was like, "So, are you in catering?" And I'm like,
Oh
and
my
also
God.
she has a Trinidadian accent. I'm giving her like, I don't know. And I was like, "Mom, why do you think I'm in catering?" And she's like, "I don't know. That's events. Like, what?"
That's crazy.
Fair.
That's so good.
Yeah.
I'm a caterer.
Yeah,
That's
just,
wild.
yeah, sure. Yep. That's a
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
That's a good one.
And open your snacks. There's some fun things in there.
Okay.
I'm
Alright.
I'm
Are
excited.
they vegan?
Thank God, no. I was really. I was
there's
actually
a lot of real sugar in that.
Right.
But,
yeah, fair.
Cavity packs. Dan's.
Let's go.
Hell yeah. I'm seeing some good. Oh,
I got you guys for Christmas though.
you might be good on these.
Chase ain't getting that shit.
there's a nice array. This is a local
I'm sorry,
spot
sorry
in
if
the
there's
East
sound
Village.
issues, guys.
Uh,
Oh yeah, some Laffy Taffy,
Yeah, it's
some
legit.
little Sun-Kissed
She came
Cuties,
through.
some lemon heads.
but you got to
some
open the weird
nerds.
things. The weird
Okay.
things.
We're gonna
is
slander
good.
Chase
Yeah.
because he didn't bring no snacks.
Here, you can. Yeah.
I'm actually about to
Open-
dive
open
into
weird
your snack.
things. Weird
I'm not
things is my
sharing,
favorite.
bro.
Some Warheads. God damn.
I haven't seen a warhead. In a
Hell
minute.
yeah. Extreme sour black cherry.
If these are jelly beans, it's about to
Wait,
pop off.
weird things. Is that? Does
What's
that?
weird things?
That's the
What
other
are you talking
one.
about? This one?
You gotta open weird. Oh,
Weird
shit.
things is my favorite. I'm like, I'm dying to watch someone
What are weird things though?
because you gotta open it and then you're gonna find weird things.
You trying to poison us?
Yeah, this is definitely a setup.
It's all
weird
yeah.
stuff.
and it's like all interesting shapes of candies. There's a shark in there. There's an omelet in there.
I feel
There.
like a little scrambled egg.
Okay. Yeah.
Good.
that's
I just
fun.
hope there's not
There's a
like
pig. There's a chicken's foot in there.
I see it. I actually see it. That's super West Indian. That's
mad
amazing.
Western.
Yeah.
There's chicken
Nice.
foot flavored too.
Nice. Some cowtail in there.
I'm gonna share with
Nice.
Chase.
I'm good on the chicken fit flavor, bro.
It's
see now.
It's not chicken flavored. It's just candies in the shapes.
All right, let's check it out.
There's a shark in there too.
Nice.
Vash's. That's how she got to be
The shark
downtown
is the
sweetheart. Just
Hell yeah.
handing out candy to the people.
So we're gonna snack up. We're sorry you guys can't join us. 'Cause
Yeah.
These are pretty good, but thank y'all for tuning in to another.
Find some
episode.
snacks. We're gonna figure this out, people.
Yeah, definitely.
Keep your heads up.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
Rich Friend, the Elevated Conversation is a Loudspeakers Network production. Our producer is Matt Raz. Our editor is Tim Einenkel. Our executive producer is Chris Morrow. The views, opinions, and hilarious jokes expressed on this podcast are solely those of the host and guests featured on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Tequila Avion and its affiliates. Please don't